Welcome to part 2 of the Hotel Cecil or slash Sale Main Elise Lam case video. So as you'll follow in the first video was basically checking into the hotel, my introduction to this hotel and leading up to the main part of this story. So basically, as I said, this guy was taking me around the hotel and, he was meant to show me one of the rooms, but he never did. And we landed in this basement kind of place or underground. I don't know where it was, but it was just some kind of like industrial looking place in the building that basically a guest should not be at. So he held his foot in the elevator door, the lift door for my British friends watching. He held his leg inside the door and was like, talking in Spanish. I don't know a word I could not figure out what he said. He didn't say anything I could, because I could basically know a few words like hello, bye, but no, I couldn't hear what he was saying in sentences because that's a totally different language. So, and I was kind of like just this, you know, still black girl in the elevator. I was just still standing still, and they were probably looking at me like she's scared as, I was scared, like, because I was like, where's this leading to? Because I clearly shouldn't be down here. What are they going to do with me? Because they know their way around. I don't. This is their hotel. I'm just a guest here. What are they doing? They have still not showed me a room. So at that point of just being scared, my dad is getting frantic and weirded out as well. And he spoke to the hotel people downstairs who sent this guy to show me the rooms, and he was calling, like, when I mean calling, like I can actually hear him from down, like from, I don't know where we were. As I said, I don't know if we went up or down, but I can hear his voice from the lobby area shouting like, bring my daughter back up here, where is she, blah blah blah, like really mad. Like my dad was like going off on them. And thank God, if I was on my own, who knows what would have happened to me, because with him he was like, and if he didn't do that, who knows what would have happened to me. And at first I was kind of embarrassed, like I could actually hear him going off, and I was like, what, this is so embarrassing. But I was like, no, if he didn't do that, then they could have done something to me and blamed it on me and say I went walking off or wandering off, or I decided to go and leave, and this is what was the result of it. So if he didn't do that, something could have happened to me. Who knows who those men were? Who knows who those men were? I say that again because at the end of the story, it might, we never could tell what they have to do with this. So finally, the guy got paged or whatever on his phone or whatever thing, walkie-talkie, and the hotel people were saying in Spanish to him to bring her down, to bring me down to him. And he turned to me and he was like, "Oh, I think your husband wants you." And I was like, my husband, that's my dad. But I was like, whatever. Just as long as that's a male authority in my life, I don't care. Like, whatever. Let's just get me down, get me back down to wherever I should be at the front. Just get me to the lobby. That's all I care about. So the man finally, because he's scared, because you're hearing this crazy black man down there yelling. You don't know what he's gonna do. So of course he gets me back down. And that was the end of that. But that was just a weird feeling. I was like, to now, it very, knowing the end of this whole story, it weirds me out being there, and especially the whole elevator and the holding the foot in the door. As the story progresses, you understand why it weirds me out till today. Like, even just talking about it now, it kind of just makes the hairs on my body just stand, because it's weird how that happened. I have to slow my speech down for this. But yeah, so anyway, so we finally check into the rooms. When we check in, I just didn't like the vibe of it. And progressing into the night, because we didn't go anywhere because we arrived in the afternoon. The fashion district was closed. It closed around 5, so we had got there. Let's say it's about 7 now. It's starting to progress into even. Around nighttime, 12 a.m. It was just a weird vibe. Like, I just never liked that place. There was something very depressing about it and the surroundings of the area. And at 12 at night, 12 to like 5 a.m. throughout the whole night, and I'm guessing in the day, but it seems to be more in the night. You hear the sirens, you hear that, and that whole LA downtown area was just so creepy and so like crime ridden, and you can just hear. I've never heard that in my life, and I'm from London. That's a very busy city. It has a lot of crime, but you don't hear sirens throughout the night like you do in LA or in that hotel, let's say. And you hear yelling, you hear people shouting, screaming. it was just creepy. Like, I had to kind of like open my eyes like that. It was just very creepy. And I was just, never liked my stay there because of that. It made me kind of miserable. I just wanted to always be out in the day, and I wanted nighttime to finish quickly, like be done with, and let's be back on the road. Let's be in LA. Let's be sorry, in the fashion district. Let's not be in this hotel. I never liked it. I'd never liked the nighttime, let's say. I liked the day to set really quickly, and we can be out and just come. We just needed to be there to take a shower and literally sleep. So yeah, so I'm gonna continue. So I have to like scratch my arm. But yeah, so what's the next stage? So basically, while we was in the hotel, there was a girl that was missing. So this is the key part of the whole story. And we never really looked at any kind of things. Again, we were just there for fashion. We were there, we were gone pretty much all day buying fabric, getting my samples made, and meeting with my production team. So we were never actually in this hotel in the daytime. And the times we come back in the evening, we don't have time to look around for, at flies and stuff. We're just kind of with our head on the ground trying to get back to our room. Because, as I said, the hotel is not is it's okay looking. It's very pretty looking on in the inside and out. It's when you get to the rooms, it's like, okay, this is not what it looks like on the outside, but the rooms are a totally depressing different story. It's very bare and sterile and basic, the rooms. Like literally, this is your bed, this is your toilet, this is your bath. It's just basic. It just gives you this kind of weird vibe, like a prison vibe. That's the way I felt like I was trapped. So the kind of people that, and I took note of the kind of people, there's two types of people that are there. Like you got a lot of the like European kind of foreign exchange student kind of looking people that are European like me. And but like when I say European, like I'm living in America. No, I'm a European person living in America. These people are straight from Europe, like from Switzerland or from Germany or from France or from London. But they're like Eastern Europeans, a lot of those there, and they're just travelers. So they don't seem to care about the basicness of this hotel because, again, they're like people like me who are just trying to make it out in LA on a budget, and they're not trying to spend that much money to stay in a five-star hotel, because they're just there for like 3 days. We were there for literally 3 days as well, or 4 days, I'd say. So, so they didn't really care. But then there's another type of people, and this is what, we should have read before booking here, that are people who live in this actual hotel. And they're like people who kind of, and I'm not judging anyone, but, kind of are like on some kind of drugs, and they're kind of just not with it, like they're just there, but they're not there. And you would, I never paid attention to these people, and I never paid attention to the flyer of the missing girl. So, this girl was the same age as me at the time. We were both born 1991. So this girl's from Canada. So again, a traveler. She probably doesn't know anything about the hotel and anything about LA and anything about the area, because the area is literally near the ghetto. Yes, it's downtown, but every downtown is like 5 minutes away from a ghetto. Every downtown in America. That's just how it is. So she probably didn't know the kind of people that will be around the area. So she probably didn't know anything about this area. She's just, in LA, and it's just seen LA and the fancy, glamorous side of LA, but she didn't really think of the dangers, I guess. So we're about the same age, born 1991. She's April, I'm March. So her name is Elise Lam, and she's from Canada. So again, a traveler, as I said. And she was just in LA for a few days. And the sad thing is about her, she was only in LA for she was not meant to stop in LA. She was meant to go to San Diego from what I'm reading online, like the way it's reported. So she wasn't even meant to be in this hotel. That is what really hurts me, when people like die being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Like they have no business being there and they just happen to be there because of, like it should not have happened. So basically me and my dad did not see any of these flyers. We didn't know anything about this case, but there were supposedly flyers when we were there, because she was there. She came before us. So we were there, and she was meant to check out on the 1st of February or the 30th of January. And we came in, I think, around the 1st of February. We left Valentine's weekend, on the 14th. So we left the day after Valentine's Day, actually. So the whole time we were in this hotel, This girl's dead body was on our water tank. Yes. So it's not shocking to me anymore. That's why I'm not having like a big shocked face like right now, because obviously this is 2 years later. I will never get used to it, but I've come to terms with it in a way. Again, I can never really come to terms with why that should happen in America, but I've come it's no more shock. It's nothing new to me because it's happened. It's happened. So this girl, Elise Lam is her name. You can Google this. It would come up on Wikipedia. So many news sites. It's on YouTube. Was in the water tank, and she was meant to check out before we came, basically. So basically, what happened is when we got back to Houston, my dad was watching CNN, and I think he was watching it or reading it. It was one of the two. I can't remember. I think he was reading it, and it came on TV. And he's like, "Did you stay in a hotel called Hotel Cecil?" And I was like, "No." He first said, "Did you ever drink a dead body water?" And I was like, "No. Like, what are you talking about?" I just thought it's one of my dad's jokes. Did you ever drink water from a dead, did you ever drink dead body, like corpse water? And I was like, "No, like, why would I do that?" And he's like, "Well, do you know there's a hotel you stayed in that you drank corpse water?" And I was like, it didn't really click until he said, "You stayed in Hotel Cecil." And I was like, "Yeah." It wasn't still clicking. And he was like, "Well, you drank a girl's dead body water." And I was like, no. And that's when it really clicked. And from that, like literally when he said that, I was like, my stomach hurts. We're suing this hotel. And he's like, "No, your stomach just hurts because you know what I just told you now. Like, your stomach wasn't hurting 5 minutes ago." But literally, I was very sickened. I felt, my stomach is just, I don't feel okay. I need to go to the hospital because that was just not making sense. So I was just sick and I was speechless, like, wow. So this can happen to people. And, like, what was I doing there? And when did this happen? Like, you just were speechless. I don't know what to say. And he showed me the news article. And I went on YouTube and started just YouTubing everything about it. And turns out he was right. I mean, I didn't have to do much. He just showed me and I read it. And I was like, maybe not the time I stayed there. And he's like, "No, it's exactly the time we stayed there." So I was like, so basically the whole time we were at this hotel, the whole time, because she checked in before us and was meant to check out on the 1st. So she was dead the whole time we were there. The 1 week we were there, she was dead, deceased, above us in the water tank. And I was like, okay, maybe I didn't drink the water. And he was like, you had the coffee, right? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, they didn't use bottled water to make the coffee. And I was like, you're right. And he was like, and I was like, literally, like as I am now, I was very speechless because what can you say? And when I think about it, it's like, I'm still speechless because it's like, did I really drink that? But I decided to do research. I was like, no, that I have to put in my head, there's no way I drank this water. So I went and Googled it and I was like, is there any way, like I wanted to see how the water of the building is, how it works. She was found, there's 4 water tanks in this building. She was found in one of them. So I was like, you know what, that's consolation. She wasn't in the exact one that I drank from. And I was thinking again, 1 out of 4, there's a possibility. Because we changed rooms too. We didn't just stay in one room. We moved to a second room. Like we after like 2 days, we changed our room. So I was like, there's a chance that one of those 2 rooms that I stayed in, either the first one or the second one, I drank from. But what's funny is because at the time I was there, I didn't want to drink the water. I don't like tap water. I don't drink it at home. Why would I drink it in a hotel? Like, I don't like tap water. I always think that it's linked to toilet water. Like, I've never liked drinking tap water. So I was like, I'm not drinking this. I'm gonna, buy some along the road. I barely drink water anyway. So I know I didn't drink the water, but I brushed my teeth in it. And I had to kind of do that with my teeth because and I brushed my teeth in it. I was like, When I was brushing my teeth, I just never liked the taste of it on the first day. It just tasted nasty and disgusting. So I decided to be buying like bottled water from the Walgreens or any of the stores nearby, like the little um, convenience store, the what we would call in London the corner store. So I would buy water from there or buy it from the fashion district, and I would just drink that water. I wouldn't. I would just brush my teeth with that water. I was thinking this is a very expensive way of brushing your teeth, but I preferred to do that from like day one. I just noticed the water was just weird, but I couldn't put what it was. I just thought it was just a nasty cheap hotel. Like that's probably why it's weird in my mouth. So who knows why it was weird in my mouth? Probably because it is one of those water tanks that I drank, the one that she was found in. So yeah, it was just nasty. So I don't know what I'm gonna say next. I'm losing my train of thought. So I convinced myself, I didn't drink it. But he's like, the coffee, they used the water in there. So I was like, I did drink it. And from that second, my stomach just started to hurt. And not just drinking it, I bathed in it. Like, I took showers there. And what was funny is because there's so many, there's so many situations that I look back and think that's why that happened or that's why that happened. So, for instance, coming to our last days of us being there, I noticed that the water was taking forever to come out in the morning. And when it finally does come out, it would feel lukewarm. It was never like hot, hot. It was like lukewarm. And I don't like bathing in lukewarm water. I like my showers to be very hot. So I noticed that and I was like, you know what? I'm done with these people. My dad's like, you're being fussy. Like, you know what? We're only here for like a day or two left. You're just so fussy, like you're spoiled. And I was like, no, there's just something wrong. My shower is taking long to happen because the water's just not coming out. And it'll come out and a lot of it will come out and then it'll kind of go back or come out again. Like it'll just never be consistent. Like it never do that like showers should do. So I was like, there's something wrong with the shower. Not just that. When I was taking my shower, and this is another thing too, when I would look, there was like a room, the second room we stayed in, and it was kind of in the first room too, but mainly the second room we stayed in. I literally felt like I could see someone looking in my shower. And the air vent is like this huge square air vent where kind of like someone could actually like peep in your shower and look at you. And I would be so scared to take showers. I'll be so scared to use the toilet there because I would actually always just look at it. And the creepiest thing is when I went on Google when we got back to Houston and I Googled and looked at what someone had said back in like 2010. Someone left a review about the hotel and said that they had the same exact experience. This lady said when she was shaving her leg, she would look up and just feel like she can feel eyes. I could feel eyes. I had these feelings before. Remember, I knew about this girl's death when I got back to Houston. Not to say this person or this thing or being that is staring at somebody in the shower was this girl. No. It was just a presence. There was always a weird presence. Like, for instance, sorry, my bed's messy. For instance, when the day we were meant to leave, the last day we were meant to leave, they always do like free breakfast, like every hotel should. But the last day we were meant to leave, I always have breakfast, like coffee especially, even if it's just coffee. I wasn't really a fan of their cereal. I don't really do cereal anyway. And so I was meant to have coffee and my dad was like, come downstairs and come and have coffee, like wake up early. And I'm that kind of person who likes to wake up, put my makeup on and be on my way. I don't like go down barefaced. Like this second time oh yeah, that's another thing. I went to this place the second time, 3 times actually, because I wanted to get closure on this case, but we'll get back to that in the end. So he's like, come down and have coffee. And I was like, I don't want to, I'm not dressed up, I'm going to just stay here and do my makeup. I just don't feel like I just didn't feel like I was done drinking coffee there. That's before I knew this person died there. Remember, everything I'm telling you happened, that happened before I knew of this. So she was dead the whole time there, but I didn't know someone was dead and died there until we returned back to Houston. So my feelings and the way I'm acting is based on vibes and literally what I'm feeling in the moment while I was there. So disregard don't think that, I knew about this girl being dead because I did not know until I returned back to Houston. So the whole time I'm there, whatever I feel is what I feel. It's not because I know something. So Just had to clear that up. But anyway, so I didn't want to go down. So he's like, you know what, okay, I'm just going to go down on my own. So mind you, again, we don't know there's someone dead on top of our hotel in a water tank. We don't know that there could potentially be a serial killer, or there had been serial killers that had stayed in this hotel. We don't know that there have been suicides and weird stuff and other weird paranormal activity that have gone on in this hotel until we got back to Houston. So but my dad was just very like, there was an eerie feeling that was there, and he was like, you know what, okay, I'm gonna go down and have breakfast on my own, but you're gonna be hungry at the airport. Like, we're going straight to the airport after this when we check out, and you're gonna get hungry. If you want to come down, just call me on the phone. Don't walk down on your own. Like, I remember him warning me, do not walk down on your own. And if you have to walk down, I can meet you halfway by the elevator. So for him to say meeting me halfway when he doesn't know any of these weird things that have gone on in this place, that told me that there was a vibe. Like, God was speaking to us, both of us, saying, don't ever leave this girl on her own, and you don't ever go on your own. Because even when I was there, I was, at one point, I was like, you know what, maybe I'm going to meet him down the elevator. But I opened the door, just stuck my head out a little bit and was like, just put it back in. I didn't want to even just risk it. And it's a long kind of distance from where our room was to the elevator. We were by the fire exit. And I just felt creeped out. I was like, I'm not going to leave here and walk down to the elevator. And it's not like anything can happen to someone. Like, if you look at it, you'll think, oh, it's just from here to here. Nothing's going to happen to you in that time frame. But my spirit just told me, like, God just told me, like, just to stay. It's not that important. Even though he would be on the other end waiting for me, I was just not going to take that risk. I was like, could be a long walk. This could be it'll be the scariest, loneliest walk of my life, and it would just take long. I was like, I'm just going to wait in the room. As I was in the room, I swear that I was watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. This was morning, and the TV was like literally playing like games, and I would turn it on and it would go off sometimes. But I'm not a ghost person, and I don't believe in ghosts and those kind of things, but I do believe demonic spirits and presences or whatever, I don't know if that's a word, exist. And I believe that, you know, things happen, weird things do happen. But I never believed like ghostly things, so I just thought that was like kind of like make believe things, like pretend, people just like exaggerate. No joke, like 100%. I'm not smiling, I'm not laughing here. The volume of the TV was going up and down. Like, I would turn it up and then I would hear it louder. Or no, I'd turn it down and I hear it louder like 2 minutes later. And I'm like, at one point I got so scared I had to speak to myself and speak to whatever's there. I'm like, what is in here? Stop, I'm not scared of you. And I would like sing la 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 la. I'll just be singing la 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 out loud, because I was actually truly legitly scared. And I went and I closed the bathroom, the toilet room door where the shower was and everything, because that's where it had the air vent, and I didn't want to look at the air vent because I was thinking something could come out of it. I was that scared of that air vent when I was on my own. So at that point I actually just wanted to leave the room and just take the risk of going, but I was like, you know what, let me just pray, talk out loud, and whatever it is, we'll leave this room. Literally, there was a presence in that room, and I was just scared. Like, I'd never been scared ever, so I literally had to just turn up the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and just listen to Will Smith say whatever, because I needed to just know that, there's another human here instead of what I'm feeling. I can watch the TV and I'll feel okay knowing that Will Smith's on the TV. Everything's okay. So he finally came back because he's sensed that, I'm on my own and I've been on my own for long, and he brought me back coffee, and he came back and that whole feeling had gone, like, because he had come in the room. Part 2's coming up next. My video's out. Part 3, sorry.